Hello and welcome to Third Degree Food. I am Sam Caterer, and today, well, it looks like the start of autumn and it is a Sunday, hence the civvies, which can only mean one thing. It is time to get our roast on, and today we're going to be doing the delicious roast chicken. We're going to accompany it with some roasted Maris pipers. We've got some purple sprouting broccoli. We've got some echelon shallots, which go really nicely with the chicken. We're going to do some honey roasted carrots, and I'm going to show you how to make the perfect Yorkshire pudding. Yorkshire pudding with chicken, you say? I know the purists are kicking up a right fuss right now. However, this is 2023. You can do what you want when you want. So let's crack on, shall we? So we're going to get a really nice crispy skin on our chicken. And in order to do that, we need to put a little bit of vegetable oil over the top. And then we're going to season the top of our skin with some paprika, some salt, some garlic powder, a little bit of black pepper, and some thyme. And later on, we're going to throw some garlic in with the potatoes, which will all go together to make beautiful gravy. So let's crack on, shall we? We're going to get some oil over the chicken because we want our seasoning to stick. Give that a good rub all around the wings. Now this takes about an hour to cook as well. So we're going to, after an hour, we'll take the chicken out to rest. And then we're going to pop in our Yorkshire puddings. It's all about timing a roast dinner. If you want it all to arrive at the table at the same time, then you're going to have to use your mind a bit and plan ahead and have a bit of preparation. Although roast dinners are very simple, this is just our way of just doing things on a Sunday. So we've got our oil on the chicken. Next, we're going to take some garlic powder, just sprinkle it over the top on the skin, on the legs. And give us a nice little rub in a second, so you don't have to be too precise. And anything that goes in the pan is just going to add to the flavour. Okay, put it to one side. A little bit of salt. Okay. A bit of black pepper on here as well. Give us a little comment down below if you would. Just let us know what you do for your Sunday lunches, and maybe we can feature that in one of our forthcoming videos. And get some thyme as well now, a couple of sprigs over the top. A little bit more than that. And just pull your fingers down the stem of the thyme to separate the leaves. And what I do as well is just stick the sticks and twigs for the thyme inside the chicken so you get the aromatics coming through. And whilst we're there, we're going to grab the little bit of fat that comes on the inside of the chicken and bang that straight in the pan. You want all the flavour you can get for your potatoes. I have a little back and forth with my mum about the Sunday roast. When I was a kid, she used to cook all the potatoes, onions and stuff in the pan with the meat. But as we got older and the more of us in the family, she now cooks the meat separately and does the potatoes and all the onions and what have you on a different tray. So we always have a little back and forth. And I think the flavour just permeates into your potatoes much better if you cook your potatoes with your meat in the pan as well. You get all those gorgeous meat juices just cooking in the potatoes and in and around it. It just adds so much more flavour to your lunch. So lastly, we're going to add a little bit of paprika over the top. This gives it a really nice colour. And then we're going to give it a nice little rub. Make sure you get all the seasoning in this chicken on the skin. Okay, wash my hands off. Now we're going to put the chicken in the oven for 1 hour at 200 degrees. In we go. It really is that simple to get delicious roast chicken. Next up, we need to start working on our potatoes. Now today, using Maris pipers, I think these are the most versatile potatoes for chips, for mash, for roasting, for gratin, dauphinoise, you name it. This is my go-to potato. Obviously you've got Desiree and you've got King Edward's and all different types of varieties, but they're limited. They don't always work with other dishes. So always got a stack of Maris pipers in the fridge. So what we need to do, we need to parboil these for about 6 minutes thereabouts. So they can start cooking from the inside. And when you add them to the roasting tin, they can absorb all those beautiful, gorgeous meat juices. So I'm going to grab the pan. I'm going to add our potatoes to the pan first. And a decent pinch of salt. And you just want to cover the potatoes with water. Now we take them to the hob, start getting that boiling. Like I say, we want to boil these for about 5 minutes, 6 minutes or so. So what we're going to do, once they're parboiled, we're going to drain off the water and save it and put it aside, because we're also going to steam our purple sprouting broccoli and that, and then use that same water to make our gravy. It's absolute gold, loads of flavour. You need to keep that to one side. You don't want to throw that stuff away. The starch helps thicken the gravy, and it's absolutely just what you need to do, basically. And then once we drain them off, we're going to give the potatoes a really, really good shake to rough up the edges. So when they go in with the chicken, all that potato goes nice and crispy and golden. It's exactly what you want. Anyway, back to our potatoes. So our potatoes have parboiled. Now what we need to do is drain them off into a bowl. Like I say, we're going to save this water and we're going to steam our broccoli and then use it to make our gravy. So we're going to get our potatoes, which we have here, and we're going to give them a good shake. You want to get a topping on them like that so they go really nice and crisp in the oven. Some people add semolina, all sorts. You don't need to. This is just fail-safe, incredible potatoes. Give them one little more shake, and you want to leave them on the side without the lid on, because otherwise they taste a bit funny. Next, we're going to need to get our ingredients for our Yorkshire puddings together. So we need 4 tablespoons of plain flour, 2 eggs, organic of course. We've got half a pint of milk, a little bit of salt and some black pepper. So to the milk, first of all, we want to add a splash of water. This adds a nice crispiness to your Yorkshire puddings. So not too much, just that much basically. And then we're going to add to our milk, we're going to add our flour. All in there. We're going to add 2 eggs. A good pinch of salt. That'll do. And some black pepper. Now we're going to have to mix this with our hand whisk, just to incorporate all the mixture. Get everything off the side. Okay, that's about it. We can just pop these out and leave these on the side for later on, because this needs to chill and just infuse with each other, and we'll give it another little whisk at the end to add some air to the mixture before we add it to our Yorkshire pudding tray. Next, we need to prepare our carrots. Now this is really simple. What we have here are some organic carrots. We've got a massive knob of butter, and we have some thyme. We're going to marry the thyme with the carrots. It's going to be absolutely glorious, especially with the honey when we add that a little bit later on. So we want to take our carrots. Now, because we are roasting them, you don't want them to get too overcooked or burnt in the oven. We're going to just cut them lengthways and keep them as large as possible. like that. Just top and tail them. Break them open. Got about 5 carrots. There's 3 of us for lunch, so that will do. Okay. Good shot. And you want them in quite a high-sided dish, because the higher the side of the dish, the less chance of overcooking what's lower down. It kind of protects it a little bit. Obviously, unless you've got your oven at like 250 degrees, and it's just cremated, but still. Okay, so we've got our carrots in here. We're going to take our butter and literally just plonk that on the top. And then we're going to get our thyme. This carries the flavour with the chicken as well. It's just really nice. Just strip off the thyme. That'll do, I think. Don't overdo it. Okay, just pop that back over there. And now these are ready to go in the oven. You don't want to add your honey just yet. You want to add that just before, about 20 minutes before the end. Otherwise, it will it will catch. So we'll just put this to one side as well. So there's about 20 minutes left on the chicken until it needs to come out and rest, which means we are action stations. We've got to put the garlic in, got to put the potatoes in, and put the carrots in for the first part of their cooking. So without further ado, let's get the chicken out. Oh wow, have a look at that. Absolutely amazing. Coming on really nicely. So let's get our potatoes. We're just going to put these in the pan. And then we're going to get our onions or shallots. Put them just liberally around the chicken. A little bit more thyme over the top. What have you. And then we're going to grab our garlic. And now, a little tip with the garlic, you don't need it to be too over the top. Just cut it in half. And put them garlic clove side down in the pan. And that will flavour our gravy beautifully. Just going to turn over the potatoes in all that juice with our tongs. Smells fantastic. Cannot wait to get this on a plate. Give everything a little turn over. Okay, and back in the oven for 20 minutes. We also need to get our carrots and put them in a lower shelf. And as well, we want to start warming up our Yorkshire pudding tray. Move that out of the way. Now, to warm up your Yorkshire pudding tray, you need to put some oil in. There are all different types of methods and ideas behind which is the best oil. Without a shadow of a doubt, vegetable oil is the one. So plop about a nice drizzle in that. Okay, put it to one side. And sort of move this symmetrically around to give the sides a nice little coating. And we're just going to pop that in the bottom of the oven to warm up so that when we add our Yorkshire puddings, they just absolutely go bananas. So we're about 5 minutes from taking the chicken out of the oven and resting it on a board. It smells absolutely amazing in here. That thyme, garlic is absolutely punching through the air. Kitchen smells outrageous. So what we need to do now is get our Yorkshire puddings finalised and ready for the oven. If you remember before, we gave it a little blitz, incorporating all the egg, flour and milk. Now what we want to do is aerate our mixture so that it rises really nicely in the oven. And a little tip, don't hit the sides with your blender because that will knock the air out of the mix you're trying to put in. So start our blender off. Get plenty of air in there. That will do. Just pop that on the side. Put that over there. This is guaranteed to rise in the oven. You're going to make incredible Yorkshire puddings if you just follow this one simple recipe. Okay, now what we need to do is get our chicken out of the oven. Wow, look at that. It smells absolutely incredible. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our chicken and we're going to put it on the board to rest for about 20-25 minutes. Just lift it out just now for now. I'm going to cover that in foil very shortly. And what we want to do is put our potatoes into the oven, just so they can carry on cooking for the last 20 minutes or so and crisp up even nicer. We get all our bits and bobs from here to the oven dish with the garlic as well. And whatever's left in the pan goes into our gravy. So it's all good. It's a win-win all over the place. So we're going to place this into the oven. Place on the top shelf to carry on cooking. We're going to grab our carrots and give them a little turnover. Look at these. They are beautiful. Give them a little turnover. Sitting nicely in that butter. And then we're going to cover them with some honey. Generous lathering of honey. Return them to the oven. Just put this on the hob, ready for our gravy. Now it's time for the start of the show, the Yorkshire pudding. So let's get the tray out the oven. And then we're going to pour our batter mix into our hot oil. It's frizzling away nicely. And return these to the oven for 20 minutes. Everything is very nearly ready, about 8 minutes or so left to go. So what we need to do now is start steaming our purple sprouting broccoli. If you remember, we kept our potato water, which is nice, full of starch. We're going to put that back into the pan. Put that to one side and get this boiling. Put the lid on to expedite the heating. So this is coming to the boil rather nicely. Plonk our broccoli in there. And set timer for 5 minutes. So our broccoli is done. Let's take that off and put it to one side. So now we need to do our gravy. In this pan here, we've got the chicken juices. So we're just going to turn the heat on a little bit and warm that through. And in this jug, I've got some rendered beef dripping and some flour and a touch of water, which I've mixed up. I'm going to pour that in here. Give it a little whisk around. Picking up all those chicken juices as well, all that thyme, all the garlic. Smash all those flavors together. There you go. So the flour already starting to thicken with those meat juices. Now what we're going to do is add our potato starch water and our sprouting broccoli. Amalgamate this into the gravy for pure flavour. Don't leave any bits coagulating in the corners. I'm going to work this together really nicely. Really simple gravy. Just meat juices that you've kept in the fridge and some flour and some boiling water. Look at that come together, that's gorgeous. Turn that down now. And add the rest of our water. Just incorporate it all together. That's a gorgeous gravy to go with our chicken. Turn that right down. Let that simmer for a little bit. Right, now that the gravy is ready, it's time to serve up. Just had the chicken resting with a little bit of foil on top. Doesn't she look gorgeous? Incredible. Smells amazing, tastes amazing. Right, we need to get our bits out of the oven. Starting with our potatoes. Look amazing. And our carrots. Just wonderful produce. And of course, star of the show, the Yorkshire puds. So we're going to arrange everything on the board and let people help themselves. Look at these potatoes, they're absolutely incredible. Gorgeous, crispy, delicious potatoes, loads of flavour from the garlic and the onions. Smells absolutely divine. Get that all in there. Then we come in with our amazing Yorkshire puddings. Look at these bad boys. Just their fail-safe method each and every time. Then we got our gorgeous purple sprouting broccoli. Just on the board there like this. Nice. And our gorgeous carrots as well. Then we're going to come in over the top with this honey, butter and thyme, just liberally spread over the top. Absolutely gorgeous. And there we have it. Roast chicken, Yorkshire puddings, and all the trimmings. I cannot wait to get involved with this. This looks absolutely incredible. And the moment of truth, try the chicken. The crunch on the skin is outrageous. Get the carrots in there. Delicious. Sweet carrots. Let's have a look at these potatoes. Oh my goodness. Crispy as you like. And lastly, the Yorkshire puddings. Let's see what we got in here. Light and airy. Look at that. Light and fluffy, it's like eating clouds. Simple as you like. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've been Sam Caterer. This is Third Degree Food. See you again.